What are your thoughts on relationships in the workplace?
You're watching. You are watching.
You are watching.
You are watching.
You are watching.
You are watching.
You are watching.
You're watching Let's Talk Relations.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Ericson Presents Let's Talk Relations, episode 14. Okay. Anyways, I thought that was cool. I just bought that, so thought it was cool. Before we get started, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, the bell notification button, and the thumbs up button on this video if you enjoy it, so that you can catch more episodes just like this. We're around the people at work more than we are around majority of the people outside of work, whether it be our family, our friends, our spouses. So today we're talking about relationships in the workplace. Although some jobs might have policies against this, that doesn't necessarily mean that people are going to abide by those rules. So the question that was asked today is, what are your thoughts on relationships in the workplace? There's not really a story I can give you to set this up. It's pretty straightforward. So that being said, let's just jump right into the episode.
No, you should not. No.
Never ever. Never ever.
I agree.
Yeah.
Bad idea.
That's it. Don't do it.
I haven't done it. I've just seen it, and it always went bad. So I say no.
So we're both human resources professionals, and that is highly against company policy.
Happens all the time. You're at work more than you're at home. Your awake hours at home. You can do what it do. It's okay.
Is that a trick question for you? I'm against it only because it always causes drama. Because even when things are going well, everybody's always up in your business. Oh, what are you guys up to? Oh, you guys are so cute. I hate that. But if it doesn't go well, then it's always awkward and you have people with their opinions.
Personally, I'm against it. Because if it goes sour and you work in that same department, things could get very ugly. Just because some people can't handle rejection, some people get real petty.
Don't do it. Just don't.
I think it's okay, but I think that you should keep everything private. Not everybody needs to know your business at work.
Okay, but what happens when y'all break up? If you at work dating in the workplace?
There's adult things. You just go about your business. You just don't.
And then you have to see that motherfucker every fucking day. No. Don't do it.
I'm okay with it.
It's a bad idea. I mean, it happens. Shit happens. I'm trying to say shit. Yeah, shit happens. You know, I don't think it's a good idea. I mean, every now and then two people will be on the same page and they're good about keeping their business to themselves. But generally, I don't think it's a good idea. It's going to cause friction in the workplace, and, you know, people catch feelings. And, you know, if you're that person at work that likes flirting a little bit or being extra friendly, it's just going to bring that extra tension. And I don't like to mess with my money in next relationship.
Dating in the workplace, it's convenient, but it's hella hard because at some point you guys are probably going to break up and that work's going to suck and it's going to be really awkward. And it just makes being work it awkward sometimes too, because what happens if you get in a fight or you get in an argument, but you got to go and be in the office for 9 hours with someone that you just were at each other's throats?
I mean, as long as you're not working in the same department, I guess. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I've seen it, good and bad. So I think it just depends on the people and how they function in a relationship. Me personally, I mean, I feel like I could, but I wouldn't be able to be in their department, and I personally wouldn't even want it because I don't want to be around that person all the time. I gotta go home to them. I feel like that's a part of, like, you know, separation of, you know, being who you are and then them being who they are.
Especially if you're in the same department. Maybe if, like, you're in a different department, or it's like, wait. What about if you're the morning shift and then like the afternoon, so it's only like a slight.
The answer to the question would be no.
No, do not date someone in your workplace. Never.
Okay.
No B scenarios.
That's a no-no. To me, automatic no-no. Because it's going to interfere with your job. I mean, and it could be great as long as it's going great, the relationship. But once it goes bad, oh yeah, everybody in the workplace is now affected by it.
Why not? I've done it before, but it causes problems because you start wanting more attention from that person at work, and that is not a good place to crave attention, and then you start getting upset and just random stuff. So there's pros and cons to it, but I think everyone should try it at least once. It's kind of fun.
And you always know how many dependents they're claiming on their W-4s.
And you normally know what they. It depends on what, most of the time, what department you're in, right? So where we work, we kind of know where they.
Yeah, but it is prohibited. But I feel like within
how many
HR,
how many people have had sex with that you work?
How many of you?
A few.
You do a couple.
Yeah,
I don't like it. I don't like it. I think it's risky. Like, I don't know. It can mess up your job. I don't like it. I don't know. I don't like it because, like, coming from like, I don't know. Like, if it's the guy messing with the girl, like that's, I don't know. Like,
it is. It's workplace love is a difficult thing because it's like you don't know what can happen after, especially right now. Like, relationships is so finicky anyway, not even working together. But I mean, I think depending on your job or if you have a career, it can be good for you.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Agreed.
We've both experienced it. Sorry to call you out. But we've experienced it. Don't do it. Stay away. Wait for him to get another job.
Dating, if you both go into it with the same agreement, maybe it could be fine.
If you both uphold your end of the agreement.
You're probably not going to be very effective at work. And then just like hella like jealousy shit always pops up. Like, what happens if like you're friends with one of your coworkers, but she's a female, and all of a sudden you got your girl over there with much insecurities now, and now she's all butthurt and pissed off that you're talking to the receptionist all weird, or you know what I mean? So it never ends good. Plus, you spend way too much fucking time together. Because what happens if shit gets serious and you move in together? Well, then you're wake up with each other, you're at work with each other, you're probably carpool to work because that's just convenient, saves you money. So you're literally with that fucking person 24/7.
Nope.
I think that you sometimes, depending on what you do or who you are, you might only meet people in the workplace because you're so involved in your work. I don't frown upon it. I've done it. But then, like, everybody becomes involved. And so when the ship goes down, then everybody else is also going to know that the ship went down.
I'm all for it. Why not? I mean, if you happen to meet somebody who you work with and you guys hit it off and you start dating, then why not? I mean, obviously, if there's rules against it, then you might want to be a little bit careful.
That's true. I've seen couples, they're good. When they're good, it's good. And when it's bad, it's bad. And just like when V and I first got together, her job said no dating in the workplace. So either he stays or you stay, but not both you guys.
I got to stay. But yeah, that's just a no-no.
Don't do it.
I wouldn't do it.
I've done it. Not a good experience.
On your desk?
Oh, dating.
Dating. Would you have sex on your desk?
Yes.
Wow.
I would, but I have
That wasn't the question. Damn.
He said elaborate.
No, my desk is kind of messy though.
You know what? Dating within the workplace is okay as long as
You can, you know, distinguish between work and play. You know, we can date, but when we're at work, you do your job, I do my job. As long as there's no conflict, it shouldn't be a problem.
Never shit where you work. No, that's like bringing sand to the beach. I did it one time. I did it one time. I was like fresh out of high school. I did regret it. Oh my god! And this nigga had the nerves to fuck the next bitch at the job too. Like I was supposed to get jealous and shit. Never shit where you work. Never. Then he got me fired on top of that because I wasn't talking to his ass no more. Never shit where you work.
If you're like on the first floor, there's the floors. Like at my job, they work on the first floor and I work on the second floor. I'm not about to be taking lunch with you. I'm not about to be taking one of my breaks with you either. I'll see you at home. You can be with your work people. I'll be with my work people. Yeah, I just couldn't do it. And I see people at work do that. They go to lunch with their husband, and I don't know if it's the women that do that, and they just do go along with it, and they take breaks. I can't do that. I'm like, let's be with your other half like all the time. Like, you need to have your space. I think I would go crazy.
It's in the conversation. I've done it, and I've never had an issue because we had the conversation that when I clock in, we at work, we coworkers. When I clock out, then it's a different situation. And there's been times where it's been a little more sticky than others, but just overall, if you have a mature adult, you know, it's having a conversation. Now I've seen it go bad. I've seen it go bad. I've seen emotions come into not on my personal situation, but I've seen emotions where I think the conversation didn't happen, and it's not going right.
I mean, if you, let's say you study hard and you want to be a zoologist and you meet somebody else who's also a zoologist on the job, then yeah, you're gonna have a lot in common. But if you're just, hey, I just got a job that I got hired on, and that other person, you know, you guys have two different life missions, you're both just on a job, then yeah, that'd be very delicate.
Okay, well, I guess it depends because, like, that's true, but if the guy is with someone already and then they go and have a relationship with someone at work, or vice versa, but I guess it just depends on the situation.
Oh, you mean like this, if a guy's dating someone, if he already has a family at home and then he's just trying to hit on some girl at the job? No, that's different. I wasn't thinking about that. So, they're not thinking about that. But yeah.
But here's the thing. I think.
Were they your employees or were they your peers?
No, they were your employees. Okay, but here's the thing. We used to work in the same company. But, you know, yeah, what she said is so true. You work with these people, you see them more than you see your own family. So naturally, relationships are going to develop. Naturally, you know, things are going to start tingling and things are just going to happen. And, you know, you just need to make sure that everybody's okay. Well, keeping it professional and, you know, that confidentiality agreement is signed.
But I'm okay with it. But then, you know, it's going to, if it starts to get serious, then it touches on your other question about, you know, being connected at the hip. And so, I don't know, I guess I kind of contradicted myself because I'm okay with, you know, if you're meeting somebody in the workplace, but I wouldn't be, you know, spending my lunches with them all the time or, you know, meetings with them all the time. You want to kind of separate the two.
What's your thoughts on it? Man, you know, I like to tease a little bit at work. I flirt and twerk, but that's about it. But as far as crossing that line, you gotta be real picky who you decide you want to fuck with. Cause you gotta trust that motherfucker. Because you don't want your business everywhere, and it gets everywhere quick. Real quick. So, you know, it's best just not to do it at all because you just can't trust motherfuckers these days.
Don't finesse that word.
You can't trust them. Now, if you find that motherfucker that you could trust like hardcore, like bottom end, then fuck with that shit. Other than that, don't do it.
If you both uphold the end of the agreement, it's also better if you don't work in the same area. No more sorries. It's challenging if you see somebody frequently and let's say it didn't work out, then you see that person more regularly than you would any other ex that you might have. So that can be challenging, but if you go into it both with the same expectations, then it can't be fine. Don't do it. Nope.
It's kind of like the saying is that you don't eat where you sleep or whatever, and so you just don't. That's bad business. Oh, there it is. You don't shit where you eat. There you go.
Also, just an example, I had a coworker. His girl was there. He was there. He got fired. Actually, she got fired, and he wound up quitting because she got fired. So
who does that? That's
it's all
funny.
bad. It's all bad.
I don't know. You kind of don't want to mix business and pleasure because you just don't know, especially from a guy's perspective. Man, I would never just try to get at a girl at the job just based on the fact that if it's a good job and you respect what you do and it's not something that you can just go out and go get another job, you know, in the same regard, or you're at a high paid position that you don't deserve, or whatever the case may be. If it's your money, like, you know, some females are just depends on the woman. If they're, you know, just not rational, you know, you definitely don't want them to demand an audience because they have some type of affection with you, because a lot of females have that. They'll be like, no, you need to talk to me right now because I have this certain feelings or emotions that's inside of me. I don't care about work or anything. They'll just totally disregard everything, and that's something you couldn't do at the job because that messes up your money.
So when the relationship ends, how do you go back to being peers, co-workers, or whatever the case may be?
Well, if you're mature enough, you should not have no challenges.
90% of people are not.
Right.
Like,
That's
rare.
rare.
Happening.
Now, if you were together at work and you worked on the same floor and stuff, and then after work y'all had like did your own thing, that might be able to balance it out in a way. And you didn't have to see each other until like late at night. That might work, but that's not really ultimately the way it goes.
But if she has something bigger to lose than you, you know, if you're the janitor and she's the head lawyer at a law firm and you guys both work at the same job, then yeah, why not knock yourself out? You know what I mean? Because, you know, you can lose your job and you'll be all right. And she ain't gonna go crazy at her job because, you know, she has a lot more at stake than you do. So, you know, it just all depends on who you're dating, what the employment status is, and then again, you know, how serious you are with the relationship.